Kemi Badenoch has long entertained grand visions of herself as the British answer to the new American president, a transatlantic Thatcher Mark II with a penchant for robust pronouncements and ideological bombast. The problem, of course, is that the reality has a tendency to intrude, and were she ever to find herself seated behind the resolute desk, the desk itself would be a greater character in the drama, a historical monument to diplomacy and endurance, while Badenoch would appear more like a Punch and Judy puppet, high on theatrics, low on gravitas. "That's the way to do it," she might cry, gleefully bashing the opposition like before scurrying away from the metaphorical crocodile of public scrutiny. "Disaster! Disaster! It's going to be a disaster!" The resolute desk. This desk itself has a history richer than the ideological posturing that Badenoch has recently adopted, made from the timbers of HMS Resolute, a British ship abandoned in Arctic ice in 1854 and later returned to Queen Victoria by American sailors as an act of goodwill. It was transformed into a desk and gifted to President Rutherford B. Hayes in 1880. It's since been used by numerous US presidents, each bringing their own political weight and statesmanship, and even its modifications, such as Franklin D. Roosevelt's edition of the front panel with the presidential seal, carry more enduring significance than Badenoch's attempt at Trumpian reinvention. Her speech, this MAGA delusional Badenoch, this keynote speech at the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship called ARC. ARC! I mean, the ARC is pointing downwards, isn't it? It saw her attempt to wrap herself in the grandiosity of Trump's populist resurgence. Her claim that sometimes you need that first stint in government to spot the problems, but it's the second time around that you really know how to fix them. It may have been intended to sound Churchillian, but it lands more like something Truss would say. Oh, a desperate attempt to recast failure as a mere prelude to what? Success or whinging. And the comparison is absurd. Trump, for all his bluster, was actually out of power. And the Conservative Party, by contrast, has just completed a ruinous 14-year tenure, during which Badenoch herself had been a minister in that government. Her suggestion that the Tories simply needed another round at governing to fix things was like the arsonist demanding a second box of matches to perfect the blaze, to get everybody warm. The puppet show of policy renewal that Badenoch has grandly declared, and she's overseeing the largest renewal of policy and ideas in a generation. Well, it may be for her, it may be that a new idea has sort of popped into her head, and this seems novel. But for all her rhetoric about renewal, there's very little that's truly new. Her speech trots out the familiar grievances, young people's alienation from democracy, the supposed poisoning of minds in universities, the omnipresent villainy of left-wing progressivism. In other words, it's the same old Punch and Judy script where progressive values are the pantomime villain and Badenoch is the righteous defender, brandishing her tiny club of cultural grievance. Her assertion that some cultures are better than others is a statement so deliberately vague. It could mean anything from an endorsement of Western liberalism to a coded dog whistle. It was greeted with knowing nods from the audience, but it rings hollow, doesn't it? Doesn't it? After all, this is a politician who rails against obsession with trivia while waxing lyrical about the existential threat of pronouns. A desk that outlasts its occupants. Badenoch isn't going to outlast the weak. What she fails to grasp is that history judges political figures not by the volume of their rhetoric, but by the substance of their leadership, not by the lowering of her voice. Thatcher didn't become a great politician because she lowered her voice, because she took training from Lord Olivier. She became a great politician because she thought things through and because she could construct her own argument and she could continue speaking long after everyone else had gone quiet. The resolute desk isn't a symbol of authority because it's a piece of wood. It's a symbol of authority because of the history that it brings with it. And Kemi Badenoch brings nothing. She brings nothing, neither gravitas nor wood. And this resolute desk that has endured over centuries, the only thing that will endure about Kemi Badenoch is the hollow ring of laughter after she leaves the room. The resolute desk, the symbol of steady governance and diplomatic wisdom. Badenoch, the symbol of putrid pity, a political footnote, an echo of Liz Truss, left too long out of the toy cupboard, not because she still plays a role in family toy time, but because she's no longer wanted. She's gathering dust in a corner. And the desk is a testament to the fact that things can last. Badenoch will not. The desk will last. Actually, I think even Liz Truss will last as an emblem of what not to do in power. Badenoch, the footnote to Liz Truss, Badenoch will be long forgotten before she's even left office. The Punch and Judy show that Badenoch professes needs to pack up and leave the stage.